All right. It's a long prophecy. There's a lot of information that you've is going to be so long with this teaching. All right. Let's get into it. Any questions before we go ahead? Okay. I hope you guys are paying attention to the different things that are jumping up about this city. Okay, so the characteristics. We're going to go through now the characteristics that we see here in the city. And it's important that we break it down. Babylon the Great is a literal city. It's not an idea or a system or the Illuminati or something like that. Okay, it's an actual city. And that makes clear reference to that actually many times. She has made all the nations take part in her idolatry. All right? It mentions how many times about adultery and fornication. All right? It's specifically referring to idolatry that she's made the nation drink from. She sits in a wilderness. In the Middle East, a wilderness is a desert. Okay? It's not like our wildernesses where, it's vast tracts of land with trees and it's just open. It's a desert in the Middle East. Okay. And we're going to get a bit more into this just now. So we're going to go through these points. I'm just highlighting them quickly. It's not following. Okay. Guys, if it doesn't follow, just tell me. She is wealthy. Okay, yeah. She is the great adulterer, the mother of all harlots. Now, when they refer to mother here, they don't mean the mother of small little religions or baby religions that this produces. No, the mother here refers to, in the Middle East, this word is used for the greatest, the biggest. Okay, so she's the biggest of all harlots. She's the biggest of all false religions. Okay, she's the mother. A reference that someone used, I was listening to when Saddam Hussein said, when America's going to come over, he said, we're going to have the mother of all battles. Okay, the biggest of all battles. She will be a great persecutor of God's people. There is a close relationship between her and the beast. Okay, she has great influence over the kings of the earth. These are characteristics. She is a consumer city, as we saw. That was just a list. The list went on and on and on of all the things that she will consume. She is a port city, or she has ports. Okay, she is getting buying in from the nations. All right, now that we've described her, we're going to quickly go through why this is not Rome. There's two main, one of the biggest thought patterns is that this city is Rome. The beast is Rome. What's interesting when it comes to this thought, when people describe the beast, they actually describe Rome and Babylon both being the beast. But Rome can't eat itself. It will turn on itself. So that's one of the main things. It says the beast will turn on the woman and eat her. So it's one of the main also reasons why this isn't Rome, but we're going to look at why not. Who is the great harlot? Do you want to connect again? Okay. So, next one. She is the mother of false religion, the greatest of all false religions. Rome is not the greatest of all false religions. Although Rome is, should I say, the Roman Catholic Church has brought in on some deception, a lot of deception. It's not the greatest false religion. I'm going to get into that a bit more just now. I don't want to jump ahead of myself. Rome does not espouse the doctrine of Antichrist. Catholicism does not deny the doctrine of the Trinity. Islam aligns with the description of the Antichrist that the Bible gives. Okay, and we can read that quickly. me get my other Bible right quickly. 1 John chapter 2, verse 22. So 1 John 2, verse 22 says, "Who is a liar but he who denies that Yeshua is the Christ? He is Antichrist who denies the Father and the Son. Whoever denies the Son does not have the Father either. He who acknowledges the Son has the Father also." Yes, although there's a lot wrong with Catholicism, they don't deny the Son. All right? The Antichrist specifically has to deny. The Son has to deny the Trinity. Why not Rome? Again, Rome does not rule over the nations specifically that surround Israel. The nations that make up the Antichrist kingdom are all Islamic nations, and we're going to have a deeper look into this when we look at the Gog-Magog war. Okay? This war is going to be led by the Antichrist. And all the nations that are part of his, these nations are all Islamic. Okay, so you can see there a picture with the star and the star. That star is where Israel is, and all the dark green are Muslim majority countries. Okay, you can see there a tiny stretch of land. I think you can fit Israel into the Kruger Park. Okay, that's how small it is, and all of these nations want that land. It's crazy, okay? And they will fight tooth and nail. The ultimate goal, as we looked at Islamic eschatology, shows that Jerusalem will be the headquarters for the Islamic Messiah. Okay, so they want the land back. All right, this is the Roman Catholic majority countries. You can see the light purple, that's 0 to 10%. So everywhere there around Israel is virtually no Roman Catholics. Rome is not drunk on the blood of the saints. The prophecy of the great harlot is a prophecy regarding end times. You cannot apply historical events to future prophecy. You cannot say that because the early Roman Empire killed Christians, Rome is drunk on the blood of the saints. This picture refers to what will be happening during the end times. Context of the prophecy is essential. When people read the prophecy of this Babylon the Great, they go, Rome is drunk on the blood of the saints because Rome killed a lot of martyrs. Yes, like 2,000 years ago. This is referring to future. So we can't go, because Rome did this, this is Rome. No, Christianity conquered Rome. Okay, yes, it's in a bit of a form that's not ideal, but ultimately Christianity conquered Rome. If you look here, these are countries where Christian persecution is the highest. Okay, other than South Korea, because they're just crazy. I mean, North Korea, they're just crazy. Every other highly persecuted country are all the Islamic countries around Israel. Okay, this all fits into biblical prophecy. The Antichrist is going to make war with the saints. Okay, with God's people. This makes sense. Once again, we need to look at who fulfills this the easiest. To try to fit the Roman Empire, the Catholic Church into it's very difficult. It's very difficult to make all those puzzle pieces fit. But when we look at Islamic nation, it's very easy to make all the puzzle pieces fit. We don't have to try shift things around. It just fits. Rome does not sit in a desert. Okay? The woman sits in a desert. Rome does not ride the beast. What do I mean? She's not controlling the Islamic nations. And we know the Islamic nations are the nations that the Antichrist is going to join up with to destroy Israel. Okay? Rome is not in control of those nations. Rome does not rule over the kings of the earth. as much as Rome has had influence, especially in the past, many hundreds of years ago, today the Roman Catholic Church doesn't have much influence. They're too busy spending millions and millions fighting pedophilic cases. That they don't actually, their funds are running out very quickly. All right, because of all the court cases they're in. And that's the truth. I'm not just making it up or being facetious or anything. It's what is actually happening. All right. One of the most critical descriptions of the harlot that we identified is that she is the most significant center of global idolatry that has ever existed. Babylon is specifically referred to as the mother, the biggest of all harlots, the big mama of false religion. Okay, Rome isn't that. Rome is not the mother of the greatest false religion that the world has ever seen. Islam is. And here's a chart of the amount of Roman Catholics there are, 1.2 billion about, and there's 1.8 billion Muslims that pray towards Mecca 5 times a day, every day. 1.8 billion people. That's why we need to pray. The spiritual warfare is real. So, possible candidates. Now, before I jump to this is a possibility. Once again, I do not say the Antichrist will be Islamic or the Islamic nations. I do not say that the possibility is Mecca. What I'm saying is or should I say, I am saying the possibility is Mecca, but I'm not saying it is. All right, I'm going to get into why I suggest this. Okay, tell anyone here this is 100% the case, because we don't know. There could be another kingdom that rises up in the near future that fulfills this prophecy better, but at the moment, this ticks the boxes the best. And we're going to look at why. Okay. Any questions before we move on? Everyone good? Okay, so today Mecca serves as the spiritual center for 1.8 billion Muslims. It is the spiritual capital of the world's second largest religion, ruling over and controlling every single nation that surrounds Israel. I'm going to get into why that is. Here is the Kaaba, or the cube. This is where they pray to. This is where 1.8 billion Muslims pray to every day. They even have compasses and special watches that tell them when everyone's praying, it goes off, and the compass shows them to this point where they pray to this idol. Which is interesting because they say we idol worshippers because we serve Yeshua, but they pray to this cube. To specifically a stone in this cube, but we're going to look at now. You can see them there. It's.
Do you think the Kabbalah is linked to that?
I don't know. That's another rabbit hole. Yeah. So what's interesting is this cube has dimensions of 60 feet by 60 feet by 60 feet. Wow. Just interesting. Obviously, a foot, we can say so many meters by so many meters, so many meters. It might not be 666 in terms of that, but it's just interesting to put that 60 feet by 60 feet. 60 feet. And it's required almost that every Muslim visit this at least once in their lifetime. Okay. There's another picture of the cube with them bowing down to it. This isn't idolatry, even in the sense to them. They're supposed to be praying to Allah, but they're praying to the stone in a cube. It's interesting. All right, on the corner, on this photo here on your left, you will see there is it's a silver plate with a stone set in the center. This stone at the time of Muhammad was there. So this cube, it's covered with black cloth, basically like the Muslim woman. It's covered, and inside there's a little building. And it used to have 360 idols. Okay, when Muhammad got his revelations, which was very disturbing, by the way, he was strangled 3 times. So he thought he was going to die by what he found out later to be the angel Gabriel. that he was terrified. He was strangled and told to recite, recite, recite. He went to actually commit suicide, and then the angel stopped him and said, no, it's from God, the word that I'm giving you. So he went after his military power grew, and he went and conquered this area, and he destroyed all the idols except this black meteor stone. So this is a meteor that they found, and this meteor is actually what they used to use to make the idols to Diana, the fertility god. Yep.
Sorry, Regan, just while you've got that image up, I actually turned to Zechariah 5 from verse 5. There's some interesting verses there that very much, I think, are related to those images that are there. I don't know if you quickly wanted to.
Yeah, you can read it.
So Zechariah is prophesying.
Zechariah chapter 5.
5, verse 1.
Okay.
It says that the angel who talked with me came out and said to me, lift your eyes now and see this that goes forth. So I asked, what is it? And he said, is it a basket going forth? He also said, this is their resemblance throughout the earth. Here is a lead disc lifted up, and this is a woman sitting inside the basket. Then he said, this is, and he thrust her down into the basket and threw the leg cover over its mouth. If you look at those images, then I raised my eyes and looked, and there were two women coming with the wind in their wings, and they had wings like the wings of a storm. And they lifted up the basket between earth and heaven. So I said to the angel who talked with me, where are they carrying the basket? And he said to me, to build a house for it in the land of Shinar. Its base.
No, it's interesting. Yeah. There's also, I'm sure that's Acts. I'll just have to double check, or you guys can double check me. When Paul and I think it's Silas, they preaching the gospels in one of, I think it's Ephesus, and they actually, the crowd, there becomes a big riot to push them out because they serve Artemis. And they push him into the town hall and they chant Artemis, 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 which is this Diana, this fertility goddess. And it says that they quote, we saw her image fall from heaven. This is a meteor, a black meteor. The meteor fell from heaven, and from that they carved the image of Artemis. And this is the same image they believe, if we look at early records of the Christians rebutting Islam, they actually refer to that this is that same image, Artemis, that they had back then. They just kind of kept it. Interesting. So they prayed to this. And just a side note, this is one of the biggest flu spreaders in the world, because every year you've got millions of Muslims that go here and they kiss the stone, but they don't wipe it down with like spirit